Okay, cool. Hey everybody, I'm here with Omar at True Care Pharmacy. And we're going to talk about what it's been like to be a pharmacist during COVID. Walking by on the very busy Atlantic Avenue. I see a few people have joined already. Hi guys.
Hey everyone.
So I'm here with Omar. We're having a Stoop visit. This is his Stoop to his store. Tell us what it's been like to be a pharmacist during COVID, and from the beginning till now, what it's been like just generally.
So when it first started, it was just like there was a meme or there's a joke on, like that a few of my colleagues have shared, was basically essential workers trying to figure out the 600 new policy and trying to figure it out. So that was it in the beginning. You know, we started regular, then you get restricted. Yeah,
doing some business.
Sorry.
Hold please.
Sorry guys.
I'm just gonna take a pause while Omar does something. It's okay. Hi Rebecca. Hey Elwood. Twin Mama. Oh, Twin Mama. One of our Stoop Stories moms. Okay, Omar's
Sorry.
back.
So
okay.
basically we were just trying to we got stricter and stricter and stricter and stricter. It was very busy in the beginning because like a lot of people were asking a few questions that we just do not know the answers for. A few of our staff members didn't feel safe, so they decided not to show up, and we understand. I mean, the doctors were closed, so getting refills was an issue in the beginning. Everything was low stock, masks, sanitizer. Everything was just one huge big mess. And like as days go by, we kind of got accustomed to it. Then it started getting normal, or I guess the new normal, as we would call it. People would be walking in, they have masks. It's I guess it's just getting back to normal slowly, which is a good sign.
Yeah. You made it through. I'm so glad.
Thank you.
A few people in the neighborhood have mentioned to me that you actually slept here at the pharmacy.
Yeah, when we first started, because my wife's family has health conditions, so they were a high risk. And I'm seeing her all the time, and she's seeing them all the time. So I thought it would be safe to just, distance, sleep in different rooms and stuff. Then, but the house wasn't that big because we had to share the bathroom, we had to share the kitchen. There was no other room, just our living room that I was sleeping in. So I decided to just move here, have a futon here, stay there for a couple of days. Then my mom was like, "Listen, I gotta come home. I don't care what happens. You gotta move back with us." So stayed with them for a little while.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah. So what is it, what's been the biggest struggle, I would say, during COVID?
We're just getting our there are a few struggles. One, meds and supplies were pretty much running on very thin stock than the ones that we usually run on. Staff who took off. Doctors' offices that weren't working as usual, so getting refills, getting new scripts was an issue. So people were asking a lot more questions of the pharmacist. What can I take over the counter? Is there an herbal, something that I can use until I can see my doctor? So it's just like we're getting a lot more involved in health than we usually do, and it was challenging, but it was good. I mean, this is the role of a pharmacist, being as involved as possible. And again, you can walk to any pharmacy, reach any pharmacist. We're the most accessible healthcare professionals. So we were just like trying to help, basically.
Yeah. And you did it in a very generous way. So how many days did you sleep here at the pharmacy?
I only slept here for like a few days, then my mom completely lost it. It was like, no, it was, sleeping here was very sad because, I would take night walks, and I am literally the only person walking down the street. I was just like sad seeing Atlantic Avenue that is always packed, seeing all these people walking around. Now there's just me. It was just like part of a Will Smith Legend movie.
Yeah. Speaking of which, tell us about the culture on Atlantic Avenue. It's very diverse and
it's interesting. You see a lot of different cultures, and you're dealing with a lot of different communities, which can be a little challenging because you're trying to figure out what community you're serving and what you need to have to serve them.
Yeah.
So we're getting a lot of like African American community. We're getting a lot of African community, the ones that actually are from Africa,
Yeah.
Yemeni and Middle Eastern, then you get regular white people. It's just like it's very tough getting to know. Do I need to stock more in herbal stuff? Do I need to have Arabic stuff? Do I need to have
Wow.
regular over-the-counter stuff? It's just like getting very hard to know what the people need. But it's interesting because you get exposed to all these cultures all at once, and you're learning different things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's which is
Very cool. What would you say this block is predominantly? People are from Egypt and from Senegal and from.
No, this block is just, I don't know. Again, this block literally represents New York. I don't know what to tell you. Just it has everything. So the way you look at it, you have all the Muslim and Middle Eastern stuff there. Then you have a cool hip coffee shop. You have the you have the post office. Then, like a VR. It's
Yeah, the VR game shop across the street.
So you get all these different things. So you get. It's not like when you walk to a block in like Manhattan, then there's Midtown. Where you can get this thing. This block has a bunch of like jewelry places, and this block has. No, it's not the same thing.
This block is a mix. And do you? Hey, Rebecca's saying, seeing the hell NYC went through as an ex-New York City gal was so hard from California. So beautiful to see what he did and to see New York in recovery.
Oh, thank you.
That's really sweet. Thanks, Rebecca. Well, another question that's obvious. I can literally see the Barclays Center from here. What has changed here during the protests, and have you? How do you feel about the protests?
I feel it was interesting because me and my partner, me and Sam, who's my business partner, was not in today. We highly believe of the protest. We definitely believe of the cause. We are two people who have experienced racism a few times. I mean, we both are Middle Easterns. We have very Arabic names. Both me and him have heavy accents that you can tell we're not from here. So we have experienced racism on multiple occasions. So it's something that we understand. It's something that we believe. Seeing the protests and seeing how people were doing in them was interesting. Being part of it was very cool. We would close up shop, then we would just hang out at Barclays Center for a little bit.
Really?
He had to face some of his fears with blood because he saw a few bloods in the early days, like with people like getting hit or whatever. Like he would just jump and try to help them in the beginning, facing his fear, which was very cool. Seeing people doing what they were doing, because again, we saw a lot of protests. We saw Chicago and what they were doing. They were just armed, no masks, no safety, nothing. But looking at this, few thousand people every day, not a single person not wearing a mask. Everybody's wearing a mask. Everybody's trying to sanitize, trying to take care of each other. It was fantastic. Just seeing people literally in Barclays Center with like tables and stands, just giving out free stuff, free masks, free sanitizer. It was very interesting. It was just. I don't know how to explain it. It was just like seeing all these people together, believing in one thing, supporting a cause that isn't theirs is amazing. Because the way you look at it is, or the way a lot of people would look at it is, they're like, okay, this has happened to African Americans. Well, I am Asian American. This has nothing to do with me. Or I am a white person who has never experienced racism. Or I'm Hispanic. Or I'm Arabic. Or I'm whatever it is. It's just seeing all these people come together, supporting one cause and one belief. We are all equal, and it's amazing. It was beautiful. I was seeing them every day.
That's great. No, I can see Barclays Center from here. So you popped over there a lot, and did you go to other protests as well?
We attended mostly the ones with Barclays Center, and a lot of marches that were happening around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Our cutoff point was Brooklyn Bridge. I'm not I was just too tired.
Yeah, I get it. Well, people walked right by your store on Atlantic Avenue. Every day. I mean, it's been, I don't know, they're on day, I cannot remember the count. It's definitely over 40. I want to say it's close to 50.
Yeah, but it's not what it used to be now. There really anybody or any protest that we see. In the beginning, it was 2,000 people every day.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. Well, I wanted to ask you if you're willing to share a couple of the experiences of racism or bigotry that you've experienced directly. If you feel like sharing, it's up to you.
So I'll tell you this. the day I got my citizenship, I remember this very well because it was the day I got my citizenship. I was in school and I said something in Arabic, and there's some person, I don't want to curse, but some person was like, "Oh, this is America. She speaks English." That was the day I got my citizenship. I remember that day very well because I was so excited getting my citizenship, and this person just crushed my dreams.
Oh.
We get few, like we see them, especially, but I don't experience it as much as I am in New York. We experience it a lot more when we go outside. It's definitely a lot more common outside of New York than we would see it here. I feel like being the melting pot and just dealing with all these people every day makes New Yorkers realize that these people are cool.
Mm-hmm.
Just like when you step out of New York and when you are seeing a lot of communities that haven't dealt with much people from outside that community is when you start seeing problems. But you spend a few days with them, and they start realizing that, hey, you're not as bad as they thought you were. So I feel like a lot of issues it happens when you're not being mixed with, like you're not exposed to that community that you don't like so much, or that race, or that religion, or that whatever. You just, I guess once you get to know people, you start liking them.
Yeah. Oh, it's okay.
Yes, we do.
Did she ask for masks?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's people are still looking for them. Still looking.
It's not as much of an issue right now. I mean, in the beginning, it was hectic. Oh my god, it was because in the beginning sorry, I'm just jumping.
It's okay. Go ahead.
I'm
Go
all
ahead.
over the place.
You're fine.
But in the beginning, when this first started, masks were so expensive than they used to, and you're putting yourself in this question: do I buy the expensive masks and offer them to people because they need them, or do I not and just because it will bring me headache? I went with the former, and it was a lot of headache.
Oh God. Why? Because
I mean, we were getting complaints every day that, hey, this is expensive. You guys are price gouging. I'm like, you need to understand, we're not. Trust me, I have no benefit of price gouging. A lot of businesses and a lot of pharmacies were just voicing the same concern. What are we supposed to do when something is in high demand and there's no supply? Guess what? Whoever is making this mask is gonna sell it for more.
yeah.
People always blame. The thing is, a lot of issue with this. People, we got complained for a lot of times. We would just like every time an inspector would come in. Some inspector came in 3 times and he was like, honestly, I don't know what to tell you. I just have to show up. I still have to see your invoices. I still have to see how much you got these things for.
Wow.
And I want to see if you're just charging reasonable prices for them.
Yeah.
Then every time we were just, a lot of times we were just selling them at cost price just because people need them, but people don't get them. When they're buying something for $10, then all of a sudden it's now 30 or 40. People think it's your fault. But again, a lot of retail businesses are not the ones to blame for this. Because you have to understand, there's a manufacturer, there's a big wholesaler who's selling to another wholesaler, who's selling to a retailer like myself, selling to people. People don't see the chain, the supply chain, they only see you. So they always believe that you're the one who made it, you're the one who price gouged, and you're the one who's selling it for it. So that was the biggest issue that we had.
You had to keep explaining it,
masks.
right?
Yeah.
I also want to ask you. I understand that you did some kind of big PPE supply fundraiser for the doctors back in Egypt.
No, here. We started here. We did it in New York. So what happened was, a lot of our patients and a lot of this community are artists who depend on gigs. And it was a huge issue not having any gigs, pretty much. So that would put them at risk of losing insurances, not having money to pay their meds. So we started helping them with meds. Then every time we do something, we feel like, hey, we can do more. Like we need to do more, pretty much.
Yeah.
So we started with just giving out meds for free. Then just supplies when they were running low, like toilet paper towels, stuff like that. Then we started giving out masks because we were lucky to bring masks. So we started giving out masks to people, to doctors, to nurses, as much as we can. Then, along with the community, we came together along with our neighbors, and we were able to collect enough money to get 10,000 masks to New York City hospitals. We donated those as well. Then, being from Egypt and like having a safe spot, I guess a soft spot for home. A few people, an organization reached out to me trying to help them to raise money and get masks, because it wasn't only about raising money, it's about finding the supply for these masks. And you know, as we were working for a few months, we got connections with manufacturers here, people in China that were making them. Because believe it or not, everything that America has right now, everything that we have in stock came from China. Whether people want to believe this or not, we got literally every single item from China. From masks, protective gears, PPEs. Because it's easier. I don't know if it's easier or not. Just
Is it
we have so
cheaper?
much relaxed laws, like when it comes to laborers and stuff. So I guess it was just like easy to make these things,
Yeah.
and they just jumped right on every manufacturer that used to like make like phone cases would be like, oh, now I'm making masks. But again,
Yeah,
those
yeah.
were the furthest thing from specs that you would need. But it's just like
Yeah.
we have to go through tens and tens of suppliers until we found few of them that actually have the specs that are safe. to
Right,
use.
right.
So it was fun.
So that's amazing. How many masks did you donate to Egypt? Did you say?
So I donated 1,500 masks
Wow.
to Egypt.
Okay.
Then I helped with securing the other masks.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
A lot of people. It was a campaign, and a lot of people donated to it, and I was just basically helping them fight the supply for it.
Yeah. That's great. Let me just see if there are any questions. Hi, Cortilio. Is there anything I've forgotten to ask you that you feel like sharing?
I really suck at these things. Sorry.
No, you were great.
I'm
You
all
were
over the
great.
place.
And it's rush hour and cars are honking and you're getting dripped on by the air conditioner. It's okay. It's been awesome.
Same here.
It's been awesome talking to you. And are you, as a business though, are you doing okay? You've sort of you've been open the whole time.
Yeah,
so
we've been open.
are you in any way needing, like a lot of small businesses are struggling right now?
Definitely we lost a lot over the last quarter. So this is a conversation that I didn't like having with my accountant. So we were down a lot the last quarter, which is understandable. But
Sure.
you gotta stay positive with these things.
Of course.
We're lucky enough to keep our business open, to be doing this. A lot of people were a lot less fortunate than we are. So you just look at it. Just you're having a few bad months. You just gotta move on.
Yeah. Well, we're all here in support of you. And
Thank you.
yeah, if anyone wants to come see Omar at True Care Pharmacy,
I'm here
down
every
on
day.
and wear your mask down on Atlantic between 3rd and 4th in downtown Brooklyn, Borum Hill, right near Barclays. So great to talk to you.
Same
Thanks,
here.
Omar. Have a
Omar.
good day.
You too.
Okay.
You sure you don't want some water?
No, I'm okay. Thank you though. Bye everybody. Thanks for tuning
Bye.
in. Bye.